think we're live. I think we're live, people. I don't know. How about this for timing? Check this out. Check this out. Louisville Metro is under a curfew beginning at 9 p.m. tonight until 6:30 a.m. Please begin heading home now. That's something else. That is Hey, how are you? Hey, welcome to Sober Talk. Literally, right when I go live, God. Hey, so look, here's the deal. So we are cross posting on some other pages, just to let you guys know about my new page, Sober Talk, and you should be able to click on it. Maybe I'll tag it here real quick. So you guys, if you're interested in this, you can definitely go over to Sober Talk and follow us and like us and I'm trying to let the people know who are interested. So, anyway, hey, so here we go. We are bam. Hey guys, welcome to Sober Talk. You're here because you either want to quit drinking, you need to stop drinking, or maybe you're just sober curious. Either way, we're glad you're here. You know, maybe your check liver light came on. I don't know. Maybe you went to the doctor and he pressed on your liver and a daggone Uber pulled up. That could be the case. You know, you never know. I quit drinking. Today is day 70 for me. And hey, DA Dennis Cruz, I need to make you some kind of a monitor. Yeah, I saw those bad comments last night. Today is day 70 for me. No alcohol, no beer. I'm just going to try to do 1 year no beer, and actually I'm going to try to go longer than that. I've gone 6 months. I've gone a year. I've gone 2 years. But trying to be happy and sober is different than being alcohol free. So being alcohol free is one thing, but being alcohol free and just content and sober and or yeah or happy is another thing. And doing it different this time. I've tried every way possible you could think of. I've read books. I've gotten therapy. Now I'm doing it after 25 years of stopping and starting, stopping and starting. I'm following the steps. I'm doing a 12-step program, and I got to tell you, I think the 12-step program is good for anyone, even if you don't drink, even if you have no addiction problem whatsoever. It's just a great roadmap for life. And being a creative person, I'm extremely insecure. My self worth is like a nickel, and this is getting rid of the self pity and the self-serving motives and such. And I just did it. My health started deteriorating. I mean, like real. I'm getting up there. I'm no spring chicken, and I know you guys see this long, luxurious hair. And you go, wow, Tom's young. He's probably 28. Nah, my hair is like 25 years younger than I am. I started having a lot of type 2 diabetes, pulmonary hypertension, alcohol-induced cardiomyopathy, everything that comes with getting older and drinking beer every day like I was drinking. So I was very excited to one day at a time, brother. Mickey Griggs, you know what they say, one day at a time, because each day gets easier. The first day sucks, you're white knuckling it, and the second day is a little bit better, and the third day you're like, oh, I got 2 days under my belt. I want to protect those sober days. Really excited about that. And by the way, I am not a doctor. I'm just some dude want to be held accountable not to drink beer. And if you feel like if you want to stop drinking, please go see your doctor. If you're in a situation like the other night, we had a guy who had cirrhosis of the liver. He was, just everything so bad. I'm like, you can, even if you don't have health insurance, it's a law. You can go to the emergency room and they'll bring someone in from like Brookstone, anywhere, McCona Path, and they'll bring someone in wherever you're at. Go to the ER, and they'll come in and they'll evaluate you and see where you are. Coming off alcohol and benzos, you can die. So just talk to your doctor. Call 911 if you're in a situation right now where you feel like you're going to die. Go to the emergency room, and they will assess you, and they'll go, all right, here's what you need, and they cannot turn you away. A lot of times these treatment centers will come in, and they'll get you a freaking scholarship. Someone will pay for your stay. Someone will pay for your 7-day detox, your 21 rehab, your 3 month, you know, your sober living. There's so many. It's just there's help out there. Do not try to do this on your own. So all right, we got a really good show. We've been having doctors call in. We've been having a therapist call in. Had a great guest last night who works at a rehab facility, and he's sober. And he told us about his journey. And we got a guy who's a regular who's coming on. My buddy Jeff Graham, and Jeff is he's quite hilarious. So let's call him up. He just got back, and I was concerned about. Hey Jeff, Tom Mabe, how are you?
Hey, buddy.
So
How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm live. I'm on Sober Talk, and I was curious about you.
I wanted
Go ahead.
I wanted to call you because you kind of held me together a little bit. I appreciate it. I went out to California last week. My dad had some surgery and went out to take care of him. And it's like it's always been a perfect breeding ground for my alcoholism out there.
But what about
no wife, no kids?
No wife, no
And,
kids. You're going to California. That's your old stomping ground. That's where you grew up, right?
Oh, it's perfect. Yeah. So Northern California. But I even taking care of Dad, I was in charge of his pain pills, and that would have been no, Dad, you're losing it. Don't you remember I just gave you 3 about a half hour ago? As I skim off the top, and I didn't. I was good, but I got on. I didn't call in, but I got onto your thing and just kind of had it on the background, and it's just that safety by number deal. Having
It's a reminder. It's a reminder. Hey,
Yeah.
there's a bunch of people our age who's
Right.
just wanting to quit because we're getting old and we're tired of being drunk and we're tired of our. So would you have like, in the right time, would you go out there and got a case of beer and had a couple pain pills?
Oh yeah, that was for sure. And it was funny because I was clearing out his garage, and I never lived in the house he's in. I was but just from recent trips out there, I was moving some boxes, and I heard tinka tinka tinka, and looked down as a bottle's rolling across, a Mick Ultra or a Bud Light or something rolling across the garage. So I found a bunch of hiding spots I'd forgotten about. But I tell you, I was really. They say, you hear in the AA thing, I know this isn't an AA group per se, but they say that the obsession to drink is lifted. And I never kind of believed it, but it was somewhat lifted while I was out there. I got just over 7 months or so, 7.5 months.
Oh, congratulations. That's great.
Yeah. And I didn't, I was a lot stronger than I feared, but I know that I'm glad that because I'm working my butt off with little things like just going to other meetings or whatever, listening to your stuff, just being, I don't know, trying to get myself prepared for it. But I thought of you because of the traveling, and the fact that you as a stand-up guy, not really, but a stand-up comedian guy, how you can travel and being on the road and doing this sobriety thing, what a bitch. But I thought because I was in, I had a couple layovers, different airports, and I don't know if you ever knew this, Tom, but they have bars in airports.
That's crazy. Come on. That is crazy
I don't know.
talk.
I think it's just a couple of the stops, every airport that I've been in, but just those. But I used to, my goal was, say your connecting flight leaves in an hour. It's like normally, that'd be great. Now I'm like, no. Can't you delay it? Give me some snow, something. Give me an excuse to sit in the bar and have $23 beers. Because that was just an expensive travel. It was just like checking. You got to pay to check your bag. Well, you got to pay exorbitant amounts. But I was laughing because I was looking for all my BFF, my best friends,
Oh, you
because
like you making friends at the bar there? Or is that
uh,
what
I
I've
had
done that.
I think I was supposed to be a best man at like 6 different weddings. I had a couple people. We were going to get together the following meeting and just drive like cross country. It just
I've made so
I
many
just laugh
friends.
at myself.
I have
Oh,
made so
yeah,
many
but
friends.
these aren't just good friends. These are like, where have you been all my life? You're the best. We got to get
All
together.
right,
I'm
so
calling you
let
tomorrow.
me so
And
let me give him clarity. Let me give him clarity. So Jeff is traveling. He knows I'm a stand. Dude, I've missed more planes than I want to admit
yep,
because I was drinking at the airport bar. And
yep.
you make friends. Oh my gosh, you're here. Follow me on Facebook, and we're gonna stay in touch, man. I'll see you. You're gonna be in Utah next month. All right, I got a gig there. I'll see you there.
I'm going to be there. I'll be there. Front row. Get your tickets. Just tell them that Tom said, and you'll have two. I swear. We'll hang out. And then you get on the plane or leave, and you look at in your wallet, and you've got a napkin with bill and a phone number or whatever. It's like, what the hell? And yeah, okay.
So we're
Pass,
having
but
some audio problems. Real quick, guys, is the audio any better? People were saying the volume is low. Actually, I can hear Tom fine. Okay, that's Daryl. I can hear myself on the headphones, but again, I'm a one man shop, and this does happen. So I'm hoping that Carl, let me know. Is it any better now?
I'm
But
driving, so I'm just going by off the phone. I don't have the.
yeah, I don't know what I mean, I got the levels set the same way. So so how was your did you cave at all? Did you drink while you were out there?
No, it was, and I could have, and that I hate to be overly serious, but I'll be brief. But my mom, she was a pretty bad alcoholic, but she died 4 years ago, and still a great gal. But I actually I was looking for some stuff and found in her closet. Well, I was looking for something to wear, but that's another story. That's a different meeting I go to. But when I was in her closet, behind some gorgeous pumps that we share, but I found a couple bottles of vodka and some bourbon or something.
Okay.
And I dumped it out, and I was telling some people. They said, "Oh, because you were afraid you were going to drink it," and it felt good. It was like, no, I was doing it kind of to honor her and just I don't know, protect her reputation, whatever. I'm not sure, but
So you were just trying to get
like
rid
I
of the bottles
said,
before anyone else found them. So she had some
yeah,
bottles.
exactly.
So she was an alcoholic. You said she's
Yep.
a pretty heavy drinker. And you, well, how about your dad? Was your dad a drinker, or did you get all this from your mom?
No, it was both sides, and but mom never quit. She passed. Dad quit, I think, on his own about 20 years ago. He was actually a surgeon, um, but
Your dad was a surgeon?
yeah, he was a surgeon. As out there, actually, he was in chief of surgery at one point, but um, he didn't do it with any program that I know of. He's finally just recently admitted, because I told him about my thing and going through um, rehab and all that kind of stuff, and things I never told him before, which is great because part of sobriety, my relationship, it has opened up with him. It's been fantastic, and he's getting old, and it's not going to be too much longer here on Earth with him, and I'm just lucky that I've been able to be sober around him and be able to tell him the things I want to tell him, which is nice. But yeah, he quit I guess about 20 some years ago.
Oh
I don't know
wow.
how he did it, but
You don't know.
um,
Did he say? You think he went to meetings or anything?
I don't think he did. I think it was just on his own. But I also, that's a whole nother topic. But you hear the term, which I didn't understand when I first started this, but dry drunk, and it's basically there's someone that's living free from alcohol or living a life that's kind of free, which is what I'm feeling. And then there's people like when I had quit before on my own that are living free of alcohol,
Right.
but
Right.
still miserable and unhappy.
So
And
let's talk
I
about that. So you quit for like
yeah,
9 years, and I was a part of
9 years.
because you came to Louisville.
Yep.
You were really wanting to quit, and at the time, I remember you getting on me because I got all my buddies to quit, and you're like, dude, when the hell are you going to quit? And this was
Well,
like,
I had paid good money to see you, stand up, and you fell over on the mic twice, and
did I
you
really?
know,
Oh, jeez.
no, I'm just kidding, but I think maybe that was me. No, you're fine, dude. No, you're
I remember
fine.
I remember that's hilarious. But I remember you came to Louisville and and I said, dude, you got to drink these Red Bulls or some kind of energy drink. And we drank, and you left the meeting and you had to, he and Jeff and I were killing these energy drinks in lieu of the beer. And you had to get beer on the way home from the AA meeting
Yeah,
to,
it worked so well for me.
and we went to like, I went to a few here by myself. That was the only one you went to though, right? Was
Yep, and
before,
I
so
was
you did a dry
I
drunk.
got
You were a dry
taken
drunk.
dry drunk, and all I remember is whoever she was a very attractive woman. That's what I remember about my first AA meeting, and then praying to God that none of the AA members came into that mini mart that I was immediately in buying beer for the
Right
drive
outside
back
of the
from.
yeah, right. I think you dropped
Yep,
me off at my house, and you went right to the mini mart. That's
yep,
and you were and
exactly.
you so you were like what I say at the beginning of every show. Being alcohol free is one thing, but being alcohol free and happy is another thing. And that
And I
nine
never
years,
understood that.
and you never understood it until this past 7 months.
I lived, Tom. I I I hate catchphrases, but I'll say them anyways. But I wasted a ton of my life. I missed a ton of my todays because I was worried. I was nervous about tomorrow, and I was pissed and regretting what happened yesterday. I didn't enjoy today at all. I didn't even enjoy Sundays, which is, because I knew all I was thinking is tomorrow morning I got to get up and go to work, and I hate blah blah blah. So my Sundays I didn't even enjoy because I knew that who can have fun on a Sunday night when you know you got to work in the morning. And I I was I was sober, but I was just unhappy. I let everything get to me. I was I mean every emotion, and that's the one thing that I don't know what the key is, but it's developing. I know that, and for me, it's the AA program. But my success plan works for me. It's not going to work for anyone directly. Yeah, a guy driving towards me with no lights. Gee, I never did that at 11:30 at night on a Friday. But you got to find what works for you.
Right,
Some of the
right,
meetings don't. There's certainly AA meetings or other meetings I go to that I just love, and there's others that I sit there and go, okay, I'm bored stiff. You're making me want to drink. And you got to find, there's not one set um, success plan. I mean, there's the guidelines, but you got to taper it and find out what works for you. And that's what I did. And I literally, I, I'm still working on stuff. Don't get me wrong. I got a
right.
long ways to go,
But
but I
but
don't
but
let
you're but
things.
you don't have the. Do you ever like I used to be like, oh, that person didn't call me back, that producer or whatever, and I was just so insecure about this or that, and but now I'm learning to not be insecure, not be so worried, and this whole self-serving. I think it's page 66 or 68 of the big book. Self-serving motives. I'm just trying to live life happy and not. They got the rid. I'm sure you hear about that in all your meetings. It's the restlessness, irritable, and discontent.
Yeah,
That's why we drink to deal with. Drinking is just a symptom of the rid. We drink to calm. To bring myself down to a level playing ground because my wheels are
right.
always spinning. Let's invent something. I mean, I told my wife that so many times I want to invent something. And she said, "Oh, go out to the garage," and so it's just really, I'm really, really
Yeah,
trying
I
to
would
get.
if I was in your job, if you had, if I had a joke on stage that wasn't just a home run, that's the only thing I'd remember.
Oh,
I mean, I could
oh,
have,
I could get a standing ovation, and one guy in the middle didn't stand up. I'm like, well, what was it? Was it not good enough? What's wrong? What's wrong? Yeah,
and I'd worry and focus on that. And that's what good. Or, I mean, what can you do worrying about that? But yeah, that's how I lived my life. I mean, it was um, just focusing on the negative. And that's
yeah,
what my dad. I mean, back to that, it was just learning to to not and accept things and all the corny things, but man, it's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I call myself like looking at the in all the bars in the airports, and you look at people, and there's so many funny stories. I mean, I used to think, because they all start selling beer. None of your listeners will know this, but they all start selling at 6 o'clock, and there's the five of us that were sitting around watching that damn metal cage door, just going, "Come on, open, open,
Is that
open," and just
six in the
hearing
morning? 6 in the morning or 6 at night?
in the morning, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
No, in the morning, and I used to, my thing, I'd kind of make a joke to defending my drinking always at six, even the first one, that, yeah, I figure you're either afraid of flying and this helps your nerves, or like me, I hate it. Which is true. I wanted to sleep on the plane, but it's like, yeah, Jeff, there is one other reason why you're in here at 6 o'clock drinking beer at the airport. Maybe because you're a freaking drunk. Maybe that's
Yeah.
one of the issues as
You
well.
know
But
how many times I got drunk at the airport in the morning, go to a town where I'm going to be performing that night, so I got plenty of time to sleep it off. Going to the rental car counter and worry that they're going to smell the beer in my breath. At
yeah, oh
noon.
yeah.
Noon. Have you ever? This.
Well, not the rental thing, but yeah. I mean, as soon as the whether it was my folks picking me up, I don't think they even had Ubers back, or I never took an Uber home from it, but any of that kind of stuff, and then the fears of just you know the irrational fears, being in an Uber that he's going to call the cops because he really cares that much, but he's going to call the cops and say, hey, I got a guy who's pretty drunk. You need to call his parents who he's staying with and let them know as well, and just worrying about all that stuff. But I remember being awakened on a plane. Sir, we've landed. You need to get off. Are you okay? It's like, yeah, I
Yeah.
was just trying to let the crowd thin. Well, the plane's been empty for 40 minutes, but it sucks.
Oh, that's so great.
It
That's
is a
so
big thing
great.
of it is a feeling of freedom, and that's I think I said that one time before, but with you, but it's like, yeah, I got a sobriety date, but I look at it as my freedom date, and yeah, there's some bitches that come with it. It's tough. Excuse my French. It's tough to get through sometime, but the good outweighs the negative when you look at it tenfold easily, and that's growing every day. So
So
yeah,
real
but
quick, this is not a Trent Resinover. He said this is so not anonymous. Yeah, this Trent, this is not a AA meeting. So that's the one thing. We are not affiliated with any treatment center or anything. Again, this is just some dude. Do not take any advice from me. I'm day 70 of my alcohol-free journey, and boy, I hope it sticks this time. I personally am following the steps and working the steps, and boy,
yeah, but Tom, the steps are great, but the just talking with other people that are going through it is that is important, if not more, than the steps to me. I mean, the steps are great stuff, but it's like not feeling alone and hearing, oh God, you did that too, and oh, I'm not the biggest, the only complete loser in the world,
yeah,
and then talking to someone that's got, you know, um, that's got 2 weeks when I only got one day of sobriety. That hey, he can do if he can do it, I can do it. How'd you do it? How'd you get through? You know, you can't get that from my wife is not an alcoholic. I can't talk to her about what I'm feeling or thinking and get any kind of because all I get is, well, just don't drink. Okay, yeah, thanks. Never mind. It doesn't work that way. So this this program is just AA's got its great points, and I love it. I'm an AA fan, but a couple people together talking about it and just that's where the magic comes from for me.
yeah. No, I get it. I get it. So first of all, Rennie Matty, a 12-year-old should not have freedom of speech on the internet. This Rennie Matty is just middle fingers emojis. It's hilarious, but it's guys, just ignore this kid on here. I'm sorry. Uh, some of my fans like shiny objects, so that's what that is. So, um,
You know
So,
what the thing is? The people that half the time that you hear the bombers or whatever on a Zoom meeting,
uh-huh.
I kind of feel sorry for them because I threw so many stones at AAers before I was what losers,
Yeah.
a bunch of
Don't get hit by that train, dude. Do not get hit by
I
that
just
train.
I got the pedals out just in time, but yeah, so I almost feel sorry when I hear those things.
No,
There's
it's
some
it's fine.
unhappy people out there.
I was a kid. I have to I get to my kids. Do not do that. But that's again, that's okay.
But
So
anyways, your show got me through last week. It was, you know what? And here's another thing. It was not, my why I needed your show or needed things like your show or this group. I guess I should say, it wasn't because I was here, Jeff. Hold these beers and don't sniff them. Don't. It wasn't a stress of that. It was a stress of I was dealing with a dad who is, starting to go down that road that we don't want to go down. And
right,
it was a friggin'. It wasn't that I had temptation of beer or alcohol around me. I just had stress of, I was, and those are the kind of things that are what led me to drink. Dealing with that kind of stuff, that relief, and oh God, I gotta just that beer and just boom, you can just feel it hit and that load off. Well, that would be great if that's where that stopped for me. And normal people, normal non-alcoholic, uh, can have that beer and relax. I relaxed for about 5 minutes until my system goes, where the hell is the next step, or gulp or beer or, and that the relief and the is so friggin' short for me unless I keep dumping fuel, which is booze, into me through the whole night. If I
right.
stop at any point, it doesn't matter if I've had 30 or 1. If I stop, I go complete the full opposite end of the spectrum. And it's like either don't do it and learn to deal with it and life is great, or I have 1 and now I really gotta have 2, and now I friggin' it's life or death that I have 3, and now we're up to 30.
Yeah,
So
I have no reason for one beer. There's not I get nothing from one beer or one drink. I don't get it. And I got to tell you,
it would just piss me off. It
yeah.
would it would ruin me.
uh, but yeah, and
So keep doing what you're doing because
yeah, man. No, you're going into you got an 8:30 meeting, right? So you're going into.
yeah, I'm actually yep.
All right, buddy. Well,
So
I appreciate you. Give me a call later.
well, this thing is keep it going, man. I appreciate you doing it because it's actually when the day's going kind of crappy or stressful. It's like, okay, he's going to be on a little bit. I can get on, and just hearing similar voices brings me down. So
Yeah,
thanks
yeah,
again.
I hear you, brother. You mean down as not down as
It
mood
calms me down. It
calms
brings
you down.
me,
Yeah,
it brings me your comedy act that brings
right.
me down. But no,
That
I'm
depresses the
talking.
hell out of me. But
Yeah,
this
it's
stuff is good.
wow. No,
All right, buddy.
yeah, exactly.
We'll talk to you soon.
Sounds great. See you, bye.
See you, buddy.
Bye.
So the other day we had someone on the show, and he had liver cirrhosis of the liver. A lot of people wondering how he's doing. His name was Tommy. It's Tommy and Diana, and Tommy was so out of it. I said, "Hey, so what state you live in?" He said, "We're in Kentucky." And his wife's like, "No, we're in St. Louis. We're not in Kentucky." And the poor guy's about as far gone as anyone could be, and I'm concerned about him. And we are going to try to call him back. He was just a caller who called randomly, and let's call and see what he has going on here. Let's see if he'll pick up.
Hello?
Hi, is this Diana?
Yes, Matthew calling?
Hey, it's Tom Mabe from Sober Talk, checking on Tommy.
Oh, hi. He's fine. I'm at work right now, so can I be calling back?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad he's good. All right. Thank you so much.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. Bye bye. So good. At least I didn't think the guy would really be alive. So let's give Pat Downing a call here, see how he's doing. And if you guys don't know who Pat is he has quite the story. Maybe I'll have him remind you if he picks up. He's wow, a real wow. His journey of alcoholism is really. I'm getting Louisville Metro under a curfew. All right, let's see here. My phone. Hello. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hey Pat, I'm sorry. I keep on. I'm in Louisville, Kentucky, and the protesting is getting pretty aggressive. We had 2 cops shot. Uh, so we are. I keep on getting these emergency alerts on my phone. So guys, tonight's show is probably gonna be cut a tad short. But hey, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. So we have a new set of listeners, and for you guys that were here, my regulars, my founding members were here, but we've shared to a couple other pages. Would you kind of recap, give us the 60-second version of your journey and stuff that you've went through? I thought you had a fascinating story, and for you to be so strong right now is pretty amazing.
Yeah. Well, basically, first of all, I was kind of born into the alcoholism, if you will, a little bit. I attended AA meetings with my father when I was
Hey,
very
hey,
young.
hey, Pat, I'm going to ask you to talk right into the phone. You're not on a speaker, are you?
Yep. Let me take care of that.
All right, thank you, buddy.
Yeah.
There we go. Now I got you.
Okay. So, anyways, I started going to AA meetings with my dad at a very young age. Right around between 10 and 12 sometime. I look back now, it's very traumatizing. Went through, and this is all in a nutshell, high school and college years, did the normal, what I would call high school jock party, beer drinking thing.
Right.
Always got a little further into it. I met a wonderful lady and married her, and we had 3 wonderful kids. And I guess my college ways didn't stop, and I still continued to drink as my friends were growing up.
You didn't.
And out of it and being normal married people, I just never grew out of it really. And back and forth between Texas and the Midwest, and moved back to Texas for a time, got a divorce, went on the road for a long while. The drinking got progressively worse.
And did you ever make it to rehab?
I did, Tom. The first time was when I was married. I honestly went 6 times.
Oh, you've been to rehab 6 times.
Yes.
And you got what rehab visit did you go to where you got a divorce? I mean, what count were you on? Rehab 2, rehab 3, or did they come after the first rehab?
Oh, that was 3. I mean, it came after the second one. Came after the second one.
And she's like, I've had I can't believe you're doing this again. You're going back to rehab, which apparently is pretty daggone normal for people to go into a treatment center more than once.
Yes, I found that out. I hear these stories of people being 4 and 5 and 6 times when I was in there the first time, and by God, I couldn't believe that.
You want to be one and done. Hell with this. I'm not coming back to this place. Was it a 21 day, a 3 month? Was it 30?
I did 321. I did 221 days, 328 days, and a 7 day was my last one.
Okay.
And I tell you each time, I don't know if you've talked about it, and so I've been in 6 times. I've quit drinking many more times than that. And I will say honestly, for all these people that are just have newly sober, it gets progressively worse each time, and the next thing you know, you're dealing with a rabid pit bull. And
wow.
It does not let go.
It's like I love this saying. It's like while you're in here working on your sobriety, while you guys are watching sober talk, your addiction's out in the parking lot or out in the back deck doing push-ups. and
Absolutely.
he's getting. And so you got a divorce. Did you guys ever reconcile? Did you ever you're co-parenting though, right? You're co-parenting now
Yeah.
in a decent way.
Yeah, I moved to the same town where she is with the kids. She's remarried, and we all three have a very cordial relationship, and we are co-parenting. And with the kids being in sports, etc., it's great to have as many drivers as you can for those
Yeah.
situations. But so we're doing good in that aspect. I've
How
been
lo-
sober since August 17, 2000, August 13, 2017.
That's right. 2017, 18, 19, 20. So, wow, right at 3 years and 2 months. Correct? Am I?
Correct. Yes. No,
So,
that's right on.
so you
Yeah.
finally get your life together. You're co-parenting with your wife. You're the dad. You're the sober dad that your kids never saw a whole lot of. They're probably like, who the hell is this guy? You ever
Right.
gotten sober like,
Right.
who the hell's dad? Was that a? It looks like him, but doesn't. Sober dad's different than drunk dad. So then you told
Right.
me you had after you rebuild the relationship and you have a great co-parenting. I assume you're getting along with the new husband. He seems probably a good dad, a good stepdad, probably.
Yes. Very, very. I couldn't ask for my kids to have a better stepfather.
Wow, wow, wow,
I
wow.
couldn't ask for that stand-up guy. Yep. And you know what? And it was we divorced, and of course we loved each other, and things happen, and things go south, and you know what? I couldn't be happier for my ex-wife in her situation right now.
Well, before you
Because
tell us the next step, I want to read something that because you've been where this guy is. This is Chris Warren. He says, I come across as bipolar when you truly compare me to sober me to drinking me. When you compare sober me to drinking me, I come across bipolar. I'm kind and caring when I drink. I'm mean, abrasive, and negative when I don't. That's what keeps me in the bottle. That's why it's so tough for me to maintain more than 3 weeks of sobriety. So this guy says he's a better person. Maybe 3 weeks is not enough for him to find himself. What you have a? He's saying he's
I
saying he's
do.
mean. He means when he's sober, he's an ass.
Just because you're not drinking doesn't mean you're not sober. I found that out in a lot of ways, and 3 weeks by no means is enough time for your brain to heal in the alcoholics aspect. It's just not. And what he's going through is not just the withdrawals, but he's also what you call a dry drunk. And I
Right,
was
I've heard
that
of that.
for a
Yeah.
long time. And that's exactly what he's going through. And it takes a lot to get away from that if you want to get fully away from it. It takes very little to get away from it if all you want to do is drink again. If you're tired of being that asshole and you're tired of treating your wife and your kids and your dog and your employer bad, then you take that that drink and everything goes away. But then the other problems start.
Chris Warren, go see a therapist. I don't want to be a AA pusher, but I tell you, I've tried a lot of different things, and so far I'm liking this best because I was just like Chris Warren. 3 weeks in, 3 weeks out, I'm pissed. I'm bitter because I can't drink, but I finally realized. I can't go. I could drink. Okay, I got it this time. I got it this time. I'm going back out. I'm okay. I could drink fine. I'm not going to drink bourbon. I'm just going to drink beer. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. So, Chris Warren, kind of. How long, Pat, do you think it took you to get your head unstraight, for your brain to heal, and for you to be happy? Not alcohol free, but alcohol free and happy. How long do you think that takes? How long did it take you?
it was 6 to 8 months.
Mm,
It was an easy 6 to 8 months, and it got progressively happier. My ex-wife allowed me to see my kids more and more. A short time frame for a day or whatever, and that was all fine with me. I knew I had that much more work to do in the recovery in the recovery of the disease as a whole. I had to be that better person. I had to show up on time. I had to have them back. When I said, you have to do all those little things you probably take for granted when you're drinking.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to be mindful of other people. It's not all about you. Alcoholics are selfish people. And there's a fine line between a life balance with everything of a normal life, and taking time for yourself. Even if that's just a call into a talk show. That's time for myself today, and that's great.
Yeah.
But you just have to take time for yourself.
Yeah, and this is kind of my, I do a meeting in the morning. I'm in the 12-step program, and I get up and I do a Zoom meeting at 7 a.m. And I try to do that, about every day. And I know when I come on at 8 o'clock that I'm going to be sober doing this. I'm not going. I mean, usually by now I am just, I'm already 10 beers in. If I start at, it just depends. There's a time where I start at lunch and then sober up and start back up at 5. So it's so you got your head on straight. You got a good relationship with your kids now. You're the dad. You're the sober dad that you want to be and all that. And
Yeah.
and then something else happens.
Well, I had a shoulder pain, and I thought it was a torn rotator cuff. 3 days later, my doctor called me back in, and it was the worst news I'd ever heard in my life, and I had cancer. And approximately 3 days after that, I found out it was stage 4 cancer, stage 4 prostate cancer.
And how long ago? When did you find out this news?
June 6, 2019.
Okay, and you've been doing radiation or chemo, I guess.
I've done those both, and when we spoke the other night, my last chemo session had been postponed, but we've got that back on track, and so that's scheduled for tomorrow. I've done both of them. I'm down in normal ranges now with things. I couldn't be doing better, and obviously not drinking has a lot to do with it, but there is a whole hell of a lot of subsets under that not drinking. I mean, I have a clear head. I have a positive attitude. I smile every day. My goal every day is to make someone else smile. So it's been a wild journey throughout all that in the past year and a few months with the cancer. Wading through that deal with the doctors and the health itself and the pain. But I'm pretty happy today, and not once since I've been diagnosed with cancer have I thought about drinking. And that is, if you would have known me 5 years ago, you would say absolutely impossible.
So if you would have had cancer, someone said, "Hey, you got stage 4 cancer," it's spread.
Mm-hmm.
You said it spread from
my prostate, and it's in my all throughout my bones.
Wow.
Pelvis to the base of the skull, basically.
And how old are you again, Pat?
46.
Young? Were you a smoker, or did the alcohol cause? They say alcohol is a big cause of cancer.
I unfortunately, mine is, I had a higher susceptibility from an inherited gene. It's a BRCA2 gene, which I inherited from my mother's side. It's hereditary, and there's no cure for it. So I had a higher susceptibility to cancer. Just drew the short straw.
Wow.
And
well, I'm really you seem to be in good spirits. You're going to get more treatment, and how are your kids holding up?
My kids are good. My kids are doing good. We talk about it often. I often ask them if they have any questions, and I keep them updated as to what's going on with my doctors and my tests and the setbacks I've had, the small setbacks. They're doing good. I know it's always in the back of their mind, but they haven't missed a beat, and that's what I expect.
Well, Pat,
but they're doing good.
Yeah, that's I'm happy that that's going on. I yeah, man, I'm happy that they're good. I'm not happy that you got cancer, but I'm uh
Oh, right,
that.
right.
So what?
Um,
Anybody who's new here, and I get a lot of people who want to quit and they're just so depressed and they where I was, they're just crying and just, God, why are you doing this to me? Why can't I stop drinking beer or bourbon or whatever it is,
mhm.
self-medicating? Besides getting, medical help, what would you recommend to somebody who is trying to get sober? They want to get sober and they just can't self-start that, jump-start that sobriety. What do you think? What would you tell someone like that?
They number one, they have to leave those old crowds that are around. They have to be prepared to do that. And if they can go someplace else temporarily to live, that's a safe place. Um, I strongly recommend that. This is very difficult to do on your own. I see so many people across these forums saying, "Oh, I'm 2 days sober. I'm 3 days sober." Hey, don't get me wrong. That is a great thing, but you know what? It's not going to happen on day 4 or day 5. If
Yeah,
you're to the point where you have to be on a talk show or a forum and you're reaching out in that manner and testing the waters that way by seeing how other people are living, you've got a long road to hoe because it's not going to get over in a week, a month, a half a year. It's not. For
yeah.
most people, those cravings will always be there.
Well,
You have to be prepared for the long haul,
yeah,
and
but
do not.
the long haul should be forever. We are wired,
It should be.
I wish I could drink normally. I get upset when I see someone. My wife will have a beer or a mixed drink or something once in a blue moon. She's like,
Hmm.
maybe on New Year's Eve. I'm like, we used to drink together and get drunk all the time together, go out and party and stuff, and she would cut it off. People like you and I, we have some kind of disease, some kind of allergy to alcohol that our body, uh, we are drunk off our ass, and we're like, give me more. Like, I can feel that. I better cut back. I better stop. No, that's we don't do that. We don't do that.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Hey, Pat,
It's
go ahead.
sir. I was just gonna say what you add on to what you just said. It's hammered down. It's it's we're headed towards the sunrise, and if we don't make it, what the hell? We can try again tomorrow. That's
Right.
just the way it is.
Exactly. Well, Pat, brother, I want to talk with you some more. I got to get home. There's a curfew in 10 minutes, and I'm about 15 minutes from my house. And I'm seeing on Facebook everybody popping up. Places close to me are getting boarded up. We have a serious, serious thing going in Louisville, Kentucky. So, but Pat, I'll talk to you soon, okay?
All right, Tom. You be careful.
All right. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye. So there you go, guys. You have watched another episode of Sober Talk, and I hope this is helping some of you guys. It's definitely helping me. I mean, you guys are holding me accountable. I love talking about it, and let's keep on rocking it out. So, all right, talk to you guys soon. Thanks, bye. I don't think you can hear me, but bye.